Hey everyone, it's Repscallion, and today we are going over the blog posts for Scrap Mechanic Survival Mode. This will be put into a few parts, and we'll cover blog posts 7 through 19, because 1 through 6 was only for creative mode, and a few minor details that it will just be a hassle to go through. We'll start things off in post number 7. The post starts off with the mention of crates. These allow you to store items on your creations, such as vehicles or buildings. Another thing that was mentioned is cars that you'll find deserted around the map. These you can scrap for parts or reassemble if you wish. Something that's interesting is the tire rims that are shown in the blog post. They show some pretty interesting designs. The final thing mentioned in DevBlog 7 was the fact of the spaceship that you will ride in and eventually crash. Post 8 isn't very interesting. They do hint at some mod support that will be introduced, hopefully, if not with survival mode, a little bit after with the patch or update. Blog post 9 is a bit more interesting, starting out with character customization. I think along the lines of outfits. I know that outfits are introduced later on, but I'm not sure about this one in particular. They also mentioned limited inventory space with the backpack, which would definitely make survival mode a little bit difficult. Depends if you can upgrade it. If you can't upgrade it, it's going to be pretty difficult. Next, warehouses. I think one of the most driving forces in survival mode will be the warehouses, and later on the propane station. My reasoning for this is the amount of scrap and just general loot you can find in there. Also, they added new parts to the warehouse. A crafting system was briefly mentioned, and water physics were, I guess, wishlisted by the developers. They said they would like to, but if they can't, it's probably not going to happen. Blog post 10 is the earliest mention of the encryptor. You and only you to see all the connections on your creations. Modding is also mentioned. Post 11 talks about scaling wedges, which are the little slanted blocks in the creative mode. They are very annoying to place by hand, and it would be amazing if you could scale them like you can regular blocks. From what I understand, pistons are not complete. From what this post said, it sounded like they had functionality that was not added fully whenever it was introduced. DevBlog 12 finally gives us a look at what the outside of the warehouse will look like, along with a bunch of new animations and the concept of the exosuit. Wildlife is also mentioned. DevBlog 13 is fun because it introduces the scrapyard, but the scrapyard has not been talked about since then, so I don't think they'll be in the first update, but later on. This post also touches on the fact that spud guns will be completely modular, allowing you to have a shotgun, minigun, or rifle. Just depends on the situation or your playstyle. Moving on to post 14, there is the craft bot, which is the first of a long chain. I think it's actually the second, because the refinery comes first, and then there's pipes to connect them. There will be more things that you have to use to craft, but they haven't been revealed yet. Cue outro.